Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by, call the action. Here are.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Throwing. Prescott. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad. But a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Able to find Isabella. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. So opening drive, 3rd down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
$14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Cowboys first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Prescott yet again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And again, it's Prescott. The hitter here is complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting the tone early for his defense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Prescott. Finds his tight end Ingram. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. And a give this time to the tailback. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. So look now at our starting defense. They come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Now they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Here's Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. From 4 yards out. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. James now off the play fake. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Tyler Davison able to record his 5th sack of the season. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Prescott to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Elliott running right. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. You ain't going nowhere.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And it's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And did the offense get it back? They did at the 1-yard line.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. He'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
But he decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down, Cook. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. Control the clock, control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 39.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And a solid run down inside the 30.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Here's James from the gun on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sent back at the 38. Jalen Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. So we've reached halftime here. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll... not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC, and it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of stuff.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. 1st possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
On first down, Kramer. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Kramer. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready up. 54. Mike 54. I'm here all day. I'm here. Ready?
They'll run on first down. Kramer. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. So there the defense denies the rookie of his potential first career touchdown.
And his first NFL touchdown celebration. I wonder if he's thought about it, if he has something cooked up in his head as he worked out with his team, and think about the celebration back home when he finally scores his first touchdown.
You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jordan Willis able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Back to throw. Carter to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And a second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Come get some. Come get some.
From the gun, James. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Taking it about the 16. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Yeah. You don't want none.
Here's Carter looking to throw on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
7 yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 46-yard line.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Carter to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now James to throw on 3rd down. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw is James. Operating from the gun. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona 1st.
Come on, set. 15 line. 15 line. Step.
1st down. Here's the run with Cook. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Cook. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Yeah, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the ball. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there Something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Ready? 52's the mark. Check 52's the mark. Let's put him on the buses.
On first down, Kramer. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3 down, 3 down.
Ready?
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Kramer. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready? 10-2 stop.
Go. Go. Hey, Mike, 50.
Back to throw is Carter on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run on first down. Kramer. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to go.
To throw on 2nd down. Carter. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Carter now from the gun, he'll throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something execute. Well before we get out of here, and that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. James gets this one to Hill. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. So tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And it's taken in at the 9. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. Carter. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Carter, off play action. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And this was about as close to a shutout as you could get. I mean, barring a game where you only allow a safety, but this was the next best thing, just the field goal. That's all they gave up.
Yeah, and you know something, they're going to be disappointed because they gave up the field goal. But deep inside, somewhat satisfied as well, because you know how hard it is to keep people from scoring in this league. And the idea that you just gave up 3, yeah, your coaches will get on you. They'll say, we should have had the shutout. But they also will be pretty satisfied with that.